verge of something special today if you're a Packers fan.
Yeah.
Okay? All right, who is the president of China?
Oh, well, who's on first, what's on second?
No.
Right?
Who is the president of China?
I know.
All right, let's start with you. The president of China is in the country here. By the way, he's our landlord. He was over here inspecting his real estate portfolio. Richard, we have the largest nation in the world, a communist nation, really holds all of our assets. I mean, we owe them amount of money. Great. By the way, the 2009 Nobel Peace Prize winner is introducing the guy who imprisoned the 2010 Nobel Peace Prize winner. What are we going to do about China? I mean, we owe them so much money. They have so much over us. What's going on?
Okay, look, you know, the Chinese own 20% of our debt. But the Chinese are not a paper tiger. They're a bloated tiger. What we need to deal with the Chinese is that they have a lot of internal problems. The Communist Party over there has internal strife. If we look back to the Olympics a few years ago, they put on this facade. They were all organized. Well, they weren't organized. They were cheating in the gymnastics. They were doing all kinds of cheating. You know, guys, what we need to think about is that we need to keep faith in the dollar, and we got to make sure that they stop stealing our technology and our one of the things that we have is that we have innovation, education. We don't need to fear the Chinese. We just got to keep an eye on them.
Yeah, but we've moved all of our manufacturing over there, Colby. I mean, this is a tough issue, tough nut to crack.
Well, and I do agree with Richard on what he said about have faith in the dollar. With the Chinese, our problem there is we put ourselves at a strategic disadvantage, really, with our economies. You know, over here, we've allowed Obama through the EPA to invoke all sorts of regulations on industries, and yet the one who owns most of our notes on our assets, like we just said with China, they're allowed to pollute the earth and do whatever they want. So, you know, it is a communist country. These are the people that censor the internet. They prevent people from accessing social networks like Facebook. You know, and it's a shame because we have moved so much manufacturing over there.
All right, this week, big story is going to be State of the Union. We always joke about, you know, politics is show business for ugly people. Anyway, the point is the president's going to make his speech. He's already said what he's going to talk about. I didn't hear anything about reducing spending so far.
No, and what I'm most afraid of is that Tuesday night that we do hear, you know, somewhat of the same rhetoric. I think with the Republican House now, you're going to see him probably come back a little more towards the middle. I would be fearful if he starts talking about and using the recent tragedy from 2 weeks ago where he starts pushing some gun control and starts talking about, you know, regulating ammunition clips and things like that because that's the kind of stuff that's going to scare Oklahomans. But what we really need to hear is we need to hear some bipartisanship about reducing spending and looking at the debt limit and things of that nature.
Well, he's got a banker now as the chief of staff, okay? There's a banker as the chief of staff.
That's true.
His numbers are better, his popularity numbers. The hostility against the Obama health care plan seems to be ebbing.
It's called the Health Care Reform Act.
Yeah, New Hampshire, Mitt Romney won last night in that straw poll. So where's the president going?
The president is being a leader. He's being presidential leadership. Let's remind people that in 1962, John F. Kennedy had the same problem at the midterms. Ronald Reagan was down 10 points below where Obama is now. Obama's at 53%. He's acting like a leader. He is being a leader. He's going to talk about targeted cuts. He's going to talk about reducing spending back to the fiscal 2006 year levels. He's not going to talk about guns, Colby. He's not going to talk about taking clips away. But he is doing what a president does, and that's being a leader. Tom Coburn from Oklahoma is going to be sitting with, what's his name from New York. So bipartisanship is the word of the day. Let's act like it.
Charlie Schumer.
Charlie Schumer, right.
Yeah, the most dangerous place in the world is between Charlie Schumer and a camera. Okay, so there'll be a lot of drama and staged events. It'll be like a daytime soap opera. All right, we've been talking about two-year bans. The two-year ban, we hear the stories about these legislators going back, both parties going and do these things. We've heard, well, we're violating the spirit of the law, but not the law. Hey, either people wanted a two-year ban on legislators going to work for the state, or they didn't. You filed a bill this week saying absolute ban. Why?
Well, an absolute ban. And you know what? I want to congratulate both of you guys and the viewers of our Vote Counts because it was you guys and the discussion on this show that really got the energy going about the concept, Colby. And I know you wouldn't do this, Colby, because you're a private type of guy. Jobs need to be created in the private sector. As an example, my good friend and our ex-colleague, Ryan Kiesel, who's a young attorney, didn't go work for the public sector. He went to work for a private law firm. In any event, it is wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. Colby, I want you to help me. I want you to co-author this bill to make a hard cap. The three amigos should not be working for state government. Ex-legislators just came out last session.
We should have two-year ban or not. This I'm a little bit pregnant thing is really kind of annoying, really, to me. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, I think you're throwing Owen Laughlin in there unfairly because he has been out of office for at least 2 years when he's gone to work for the insurance department. Listen, do we have the debate? Yes. But, Richard, I think you're a little bit off base if you say an absolute ban. The legislature's changed. We just elected 2 21-year-olds to office. So are you going to tell me that if one of those 21-year-olds who's still in college just serves 1 term, that she can't go be a teacher for the state of Oklahoma? Are you going to tell me that somebody else in their 20s or 30s serves 4 years in the legislature, can't go work for the road for the OHB? Is that what you're going to say?
We're going to discuss this again next week.
Yeah. No, but that's state employment.
Last question.
That's state employment.
What's the biggest story of the week?
The biggest story of the week. Honestly, I think it's kind of been a quiet week. I kind of hate to say that. I mean, looking forward to the state of this state. I think this week at the Oklahoma legislature is when we filed all our bills. So I would say that next week we'll see all kinds of legislation coming out.
What do you think is going to be the biggest story of the week coming up?
HJR 1028, the one we just talked about, okay? I can't believe what I'm hearing from my friend Colby over there. Can you imagine if Brad Henry had appointed Cal Hobson to be Secretary of State? And I never mentioned Owen Laughlin,
Brad Henry's about to go to work being the next president of UCO.
And Colby, I'm going to tell you something. If you guys don't put this on the calendar, there's going to be an uproar from the folks in Oklahoma. They'll be marching around the Capitol. Vote for this. Pass it, folks, because this is wrong.
Yeah. Who is the president of China?
Who? What's on second?
Okay, remember, you can go to the website, news9.com/yourvotecounts. Send us questions. We'll ask Bears and Packer fans.
Who's on first? What's on second? I don't know who's on third, remember?
Who is the president of China?